Now with the custom work out of the way, I am gonna go back into production mode, and I figured it would be a great time to talk about, you know, some of the goods and bads about production work. Yeah, much like I did with the custom order goods and bads a couple of weeks ago. Should be in that up there, yeah. So gonna get the forge loaded up, and yeah, let's get into this. When I'm talking about production work, what am I talking about? Basically, anytime you hear me say production, it's basically my stuff that I always make. It's kind of like always in stock, you know. It's stuff that sits on my website. When people order it, I just pull it off the shelf and send it out. Some of my stuff is made to order, but I do them still in small batches. But basically, that's what I mean by production. So one challenge that you're gonna face with doing production work is just getting bored of it. So with me, how I deal with that is I won't spend more than one day doing a particular product. So I will do hairpins one day, shawl pins the next day, hooks the following day. I won't spend too many days on one individual product. That's one way to help. Sometimes you can't control that and you do have to do multiple days. But for a lot of times, I just do a set number of something and then I move on to the next thing. That really does help. With that said, there's some people that do one product and only one product all the time. I think there's one blacksmith. He does bottle openers. That's all he does. So a lot of it's going to depend on your personality. So yeah. So another challenge is just knowing what products actually to make and sell. This is, that's enough. That's a topic that you can really go down the rabbit hole. And I'm gonna split that into a completely different video than this one, because like I said, I can make a whole video on just that. So yeah, finding products to sell, yeah, that can be a challenge. Okay, with production work, it's very easy to get yourself into what I call autopilot and just basically shut off your brain. And one of the challenges with that is, are you looking at constantly innovating, being as efficient as you possibly could be, or is your pricing actually where it should be? And this is one of these things that, yeah, I struggled with a little bit. So I will actually deliberately put in the schedule where I take a look at that stuff. Where can I do it better? Is my pricing still valid? Is there actually still a market for it? So one example of that is during COVID, hooks were selling like crazy. I couldn't keep up. But now with COVID being over and people have gone back to work and they're not doing as many renovations, the hook's gone back down to what it is pre-COVID level. So if I wasn't paying attention to that, I would just make a whole whack of hooks and then be sitting with them. Now, hooks might not be a good example because they will sell eventually, but if you don't pay attention to what your stock is and what your inventory is, you could easily overextend that. Now, one of the good things about being an autopilot is because we kind of live in a world where it's consumer, really stressful sometimes, notifications constantly, and just everyone fighting for your attention. And your brain is going crazy all the time. And you're not actually taking time to sit back and relax. And you know, you gotta think for centuries, human beings have done mundane tasks. You know, if you look at the hunters-gatherers, you know, yeah, sure, they had those highs mentally when they're hunting, but then they'll go back and, you know, sharpen their spear or work the field a little bit. And as humans, we kind of need that. We need to have that downtime mentally. So even though you have the challenges of not paying attention to what's going on when your brain shuts off, you can also have where you need to shut off your brain. So it's, you know, it's both. You gotta keep an eye on it, but, you know, it's good and bad. Okay, so for now, some of the good stuff about doing production work is that you can actually get really efficient at making something. The more you do it, the faster you will become. Now, of course, you're gonna plateau at some point, but like one example is I can have 4 irons in the fire right now doing these hairpins. Where with custom work, there's a lot of times where I'll only have 1 piece of steel actually in, and it all depends on what I'm doing and stuff. But with production, I can have 4 irons in where that batch, I just go through all the steps with those 4, and it's actually really surprising how many I can get done because I'm doing this small batch like that. Another advantage of doing production work is you can look at your trends and know roughly what you need to make that particular year. So like this year, because I did almost a whole year full time last year, I'm able to look at what I sold last year and get a good idea of what during my slow time, like right now, what I need to make ahead of time so I can actually have some more fun, like, you know, doing cool projects on YouTube. With doing production work, you already know what sizes of material that you bring in. So you can actually bring in a whack of it, like 6 months worth, a year's worth. And because you're buying it in bulk, you actually can get a better deal on your steel. Another advantage of production work is that because you're just making it, putting on your website or, you know, Etsy or whatever, people buy it, and you can actually make a steady stream of income coming in if your products are good and people want them. How has production work fit into my shop over the years? Well, it's only been probably about 8 years that I've actually got into doing more production work than doing custom work. A little bit has to do is the marketplaces that we have now, such as Etsy and stuff, really wasn't as big as it is now. So yeah, it was about 8 years ago I actually started doing production. And I have slowly got more into it and slowly started to not do as much custom work as I used to. And that just is how I feel is the best way for my personality and my business at this point in time, is to be more focused on production than, say, custom work. But that I'm constantly reevaluating as I go through this journey of being a full-time blacksmith. So what I'm saying now might be completely different in a year or two. So it's basically what's working right now. And yeah. So I guess that's, we'll wrap up this video. I hope it was, you know, give you a little bit of information and stuff like that. If you like it, comment, like, all that other stuff. I know a lot of you guys haven't subscribed that watch my videos, so subscribe. Come on. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Till the next one, see you later.